was that for your morning rush? Who needs coffee, right?
Yeah, that'll wake you up.
Today is International Bagpipe Day, so we thought we'd give you a extra special wake-up call.
Yeah, the instrument has roots not only in Scotland, but in ancient Egypt as well. Who knew? And today you can hear the centuries-old tradition of the pipes playing, of course, at wakes and funerals, but even weddings. And its tunes are also synonymous with parades and honoring fallen heroes. A lot of moments, celebratory and sad, that we hear the bagpipes.
So in studio with us right now is Atlanta pipe player Brad Beaton. Brad has been captivating crowds with distinctive sounds like this for over 40 years across the southern U.S. And you also founded two bands that are still thriving. Yeah. We got North Georgia Pipes and the Drums and the Atlanta Pipe Band.
I did not found the Atlanta Pipe Band, but I did in Columbia. It's now the Palmetto Pipes and Drums.
Cool.
A wealth of experience,
yes,
we're trying to get across here.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Playing that instrument, it takes a unique set of skills. Walk us through this. How do you actually do it?
Well, I joke with people and tell them that you only have to do three things. You have to blow, you have to squeeze, and you have to move your fingers, and then you're playing the bagpipes. But
only three things.
Those three things, yeah. Yeah. Well, with the piano, it's only one. You just have to move your fingers. You know? No. So there's a lot. There's a lot going on when you're playing the bagpipes, no doubt.
Yeah, it takes a lot of lung strength, I believe.
Strength and tuning. There's a lot of maintenance, and to really make a good sounding bagpipe, it's a lot of tuning. A lot of tuning has to happen, which I could have done a little better on the tuning on that segment, but yeah.
It was pretty good to us.
You nailed it. It was pretty good.
So what inspired you to learn how to play?
So my grandfather played bagpipes in World War I, and I still have his bagpipes.
Wow.
You know, they're like 112 years old, and he inspired me. When I was 13, he passed away, and I actually learned in Dallas from a great pipe major, Robert Forbes, who flew Spitfires in World War II. He was a great piper, and he brought over the best pipers in Scotland for a week every year at a Dallas, and we went to a Dallas high school there and had a workshop every year for a week. So yeah, that was, it's been a long road.
Cool.
And it has such a distinct sound. We associate it with funerals, other events. Gets people really emotional. Why is that?
The reason, I think, is that it's got such a rich harmonic blend. When you're playing the pipes, you're actually playing four reeds. There's a single-tongued bass reed here, and then a single-tongued tenor and a single-tongued tenor reed. And then there's a double-tongued cane reed for the chanter. You actually learn on a practice chanter. You don't learn on a bagpipe for about the first 6 months, but it's the rich harmonic blend that I think makes the bagpipe very unique.
Yeah, it's something about a harmony that when you hear singers or an organist or something that's just really emotional.
Sure. So like Diana Ross and the Supreme.
There you go. So what do you, if someone perhaps wants to take it up as a hobby, how do you even begin to learn how to play?
Well, yeah, I just mentioned you start with a practice chanter, and you could type in practice chanter, search for that, and get a practice chanter in a book. And you know, there's a lot of great YouTube channels, but I also think it's really important to have a good mentor. You know, just like any skill or instrument, it's great to have a personal mentor that helps you.
And we're just seeing these facts here.
Yeah. So surprising to me.
Yeah, so we associate it with Scotland for sure, but apparently the bagpipes originated in ancient Egypt. Do you know more about that history?
Playing for the pharaohs? What's going on?
Well, I could tell you, you know, it's a funny story because there's actually a story in the Bible where they say when you hear these instruments, you bow down. Nebuchadnezzar is like, I think it's Daniel chapter 3, verse 5, where they say when you hear all these instruments, you bow down, and one of them was a bagpipe, and that was like in Babylon.
Wow. And
if you think about it, it kind of makes sense if you think about like a shepherd, you know, starting with a reed and then saying, well, you know, I could add a bag and just play continuous music, and then maybe a drone. So really, you know, it evolves. That the instrument would evolve that way, right?
So can you take us to break now by playing one of your favorite?
Sure.
And tell us what it is first, so maybe people could recognize it.
Yeah, I'll just say that it's the tune that's most often requested, and it was written by the captain who formerly crewed a slave ship, and he repented, and he wrote this song.
Okay.